When a paper ballot drops into a box, it is instantly converted into digital code and sent across a vast invisible network. This transition has moved the struggle for electoral integrity from the streets to the data pipeline. This shift is a global grammar of power. From Eastern Europe to the Americas, regimes exploit technological opacity and legal ambiguity to manage outcomes within the software, bypassing the need for traditional physical interference. Because the war is now fought in the code, a campaign that focuses exclusively on a boots-on-the-ground game has already lost before the polls open. Public attention remains fixed on the physical ballot boxes and the waiting crowds. But these visible elements are increasingly disconnected from the actual machinery of the count. The biometric capture device is the entry point for the digital engine room. This is the moment a physical choice is irreversibly transformed into a string of data. Once that data leaves the device, it enters the RATEC layer. These are human registration area technicians sitting between the machine and the public portal, possessing the power to review, delay, or modify results without any statutory oversight or public audit. Transparency at the final web portal is useless if the intermediary nodes are opaque. If you can't see the data as it moves through the technicians, you aren't seeing the election at all. The 2022 Osun state election exposed the reality of this architecture when the system officially produced two conflicting certified records of the exact same election. One showed overvoting, the other claimed the first was merely unsynchronized. In 2023, this created a legal trap. The Supreme Court ruled that the physical machine is the primary source of truth, but it simultaneously allowed those machines to be wiped clean for the next election before forensic inspections were complete. This contradiction, ordering evidence from a machine that has already been erased, destroys the legitimacy of the entire process. It leaves the public holding signs for a technological mandate that no longer exists. When judges lack the technical literacy to understand data preservation, they provide a safe harbor for institutions to destroy the evidence of their own failures. The 2026 Electoral Act introduced a surface-level fix by making the electronic transmission of results compulsory. However, the law includes a loophole. In the event of an undefined communication failure, the electronic mandate is neutralized, and the process reverts to an unsecured manual paper stream. Because the Act does not define what counts as a failure or require any digital proof of one, human officers can invoke this exception with total legal immunity. Rather than securing the vote, the new law provides a statutory escape hatch to legally bypass the technology whenever the digital result is inconvenient. Preventing this in 2027 requires moving away from the reactive playbook used in 2023. You cannot wait for the declaration to look for the data. Forensic strategy must shift to massive sampling grids, covering a 95% statistical confidence threshold across disputed regions. The four-prayer backend strategy targets the pipeline, demanding physical machine data, backend server logs, RATEC action logs, and specific IP addresses for every upload. Manipulated systems rely on data discrepancies between these hidden nodes. By subpoenaing every layer of the pipeline simultaneously, you remove the blind spots, leaving the altered data nowhere to hide. Long-term security requires the creation of the Independent Electoral Technology Certification Commission, or IETCC. This body would enforce mandatory device-level ID tracking and manage financially rewarded whistleblower channels to ensure the technology is audited before and during the count. It also introduces a corporate penalty, billion Naira fines, and 10-year contract bans for any tech vendor that provides manipulable firmware. For 2027, the choice is to master the hidden digital architecture and its governing law, or become the next casualty buried beneath the iceberg.